Hello students, welcome back to the channel. Today we are solving our next SQL problem, that is question number 33. Okay, so let's see the question first. The question is saying we have to find the employees with no salary change in last 2 years. Okay, so we have to name the employees who from last 2 years they do not get their increment. Okay, so they have the same salary from past 2 years, right? Here we have the two tables. So first table is employee table. In under employee table, we have ID, we have name, and we have the department. Yes, ID normally it's the primary key. Everyone has a different ID. Then we have the name. Then we have assigned some department. Okay. Then we have the salary history for each particular employee. We have their old salary. We have their new salary. Okay. And when their last salary has changed. Okay. When their last salary has changed. So we can see in January, 10 January 2026, the last salary has changed. From here on 2023, then 2025 and 2022. Okay, clearly you can see these two employees does not get any increment from last 2 years, right? It's increased in 2023 and here it is 2022. It's been 4 years, right? How we can calculate that? See here, what will we do? We will make a subquery. That firstly say we have to select the employee ID from the salary history, where the change rate is greater than, okay, change rate that is greater than today date. We can directly write current date minus interval 2 years. Okay, I will show you. So if you don't want to write date underscore sum, it is basically subtracting the current date from the interval of 2 years. You can directly write current date, then you will minus the interval of 2 years. You can also write like this. Okay. So firstly, I am just finding the values who the employees that got the increment within the 2 years. Okay. So we are finding any date that is greater than if I subtract the 2 years. For example, someone salary uh, got increased on 2025. Assume I'm just assuming it. Okay. Now what I do, it say I have to minus 2 years. Now I minus the 2 years. So if I minus, I get 2023. Yes, change date should be change date क्या है? Change date is 25%. बहुत बड़ी हुई है ना तुरंत डेट मुझे खाना सुना था आज 26 है ना माइनस हाँ okay. So when okay focus here again. Start from here. Okay. For example, someone change date is 2025. Now, what I have to check from past 2 years, like today we are in 2026. I will subtract 2 years, so I will get 2024. Okay. So is this number is greater than 2024? Yes. So we will include this ID. Okay. Then if someone's ID, sorry, if someone's salary got changed in increase in 2023. Okay. Now this is its current ID, but it should be greater than 2024. Is it? Is it greater? No. So we will not consider the employee whose salary has increased in 2023. Okay. Basically, we are taking the employee whose salary got increased within 2 years. Okay. We are doing the reverse scenario. Okay. Let's see in our example. Firstly, we have to understand the inner theory. Here it is 2026, so we can clearly see it is greater than 2024. Yes, 2026 is greater than or equal to 2024. Yes, so we will consider this case for the subquery part. So in subquery we will get 1, ID 1. Okay, then we have the 2023. Is it greater than 2024? No, no. Yes, false case we will not consider it. We will leave as it is. Then 2025, yes, it is greater than or equal to 2024. We will consider this case and we will take the ID that is 4. Then we have the another employee. Yeah, whose salary got changed on 2022, which is less than 2024. Again, we will not consider it. We will leave as it is. Now, for sub-query, from the inner query, we got two IDs, that is 1 and 4. Now, what it says, query say we have to select the employee, select from the employee where the ID not present in my inner query. So I have to select all the IDs, but not these two. Okay, so come here. I come to this table. Now I have to select all the IDs except these two inner two IDs. My inner two IDs are 1 and 4. First ID is 1. So my outer query say do not take it. I ignored this. So 2 is present in my inner query. No. So I will take this. 3. No. 4 is present. So I have to leave this. And 5. Again it is not present. Then I will take it. Okay. Got it? How we can solve that? Firstly, in firstly, Firstly, we are taking the inner query. In inner query, we are taking the person whose ID, whose salary got changed within the 2 years. Okay, we are doing the reverse case. So in initial query, in inner query, what we are doing, we are taking the employee whose salary got changed within the 2 years. Got it? We are taking that IDs whose salaries got changed within 2 years. Then we run the outer query that say do not take the IDs that is present in the inner query. Okay. So firstly we take the IDs that says whose IDs got changed within 2 years. Then outer query say do not take the IDs that is mentioned in the inner query. Is that simple? Okay. So the final output is we have to select all items that is present in the employee table and it says not the IDs. We do not choose the IDs that whose salaries got changed within the 2 years. Okay. Now focus here. So for this, I have created the employee table. Okay. So for employee table, I put the ID. It must be the primary key. Yes, you know it. Then I take the name, varchar. Then again the department for the varchar section. Okay. Then I insert the five values. Okay. Then, then I create another table for the salary history where I included the employee table, old salary, new salary, and the date change. Okay. Then again I inserted some of the values. If you want to see the values, I can show you. Let's start from employee. Okay. So this is our table for the employees. We have the five IDs, name, and the department. Then again I want to write this. Let's start from my salary. Underscore. What happened with it? So let's start from the sorry. Okay, now this is our table for the salary history. Okay, so it has some employee ID, all salary, new salary, and the date sheet. Okay, now let's see our query. Our query says this is our query. Let's see the output. Okay, so we are getting 2, 3, and 5. Same, exactly same output that we have seen in our on my pen. Yes, we are getting the same output. Yes. Okay. So in this we are using the inner query and the outer query. So we have the subquery. Subquery says we want the IDs. I want the IDs whose salary got changed within the 2 years. And the outer query says I do not take that IDs. Okay, rest are my answer. I do not take that IDs and rest are my answer. Got it? If you practice this and if you're facing any issue, just comment it down. So like it, share and subscribe for more videos. Stay tuned.